We preview Auburn's SEC opener against the Arkansas Razorbacks on this edition of the Uptempo Podcast. Let's go, Auburn family, up-tempo gang. Good evening, man. Dustin Smith, Blake Lane, back with another live edition of the Up-Tempo Podcast. Y'all know the deal. The Razorbacks are coming back to Jordan Hare Stadium. The last time they came in our building, Blake, we had to fire our head coach, man. So I think we owe them one, brother. I think we owe them one. How are you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing great, man. I actually like that happened the last go around because that was a great firing.
Yeah.
But look, must-win game. This is a monumental matchup for Auburn. This is a game that you have to go get. It's in your house. I made that point a couple weeks ago after Cal, as we keep throwing Jordan Hare out there like it's some hostile environment, which it is. But we've had too many people walk inside of our crib and take over our house, and it's got to stop. And the Hogs, they're feeling confident because they went to Stillwater and they played a ball game. They should have won that game. They should have beat Oklahoma State, ranked Oklahoma State, a team that is predicted to battle it out for the Big 12 championship and compete for a playoff spot. They went to double OT, so they're feeling confident. Yeah. They were down 17-3. I went on an Arkansas podcast last night. They were down 17-3 to UAB. We talked about it last night. They said, hey, we were depleted in our stadium. But then we started running the football, and the momentum got better, and we come back and we found a way to win. So they are confident that they're coming to Jordan Hare to handle business. And we can't let it happen. Because guess who's back on campus, folks? Deuce Knight. A couple of other star-studded recruits that'll be there. And we can't lay an egg like we did 2 weeks ago against Cal. It can't happen. We have to have momentum going into next week against Oklahoma. You can't start this thing out and be 2-2, and your 2 wins are to who? Alabama, A&M, and New Mexico? That's how you want to start the season? 2-2 and 0-1 in SEC play, and you lose to a team that was supposed to fire Sam Pittman in week 4 or no later than week 4 of this year. He was the hottest of hot seats coming into this year. So it's a must win. And yeah, it's a 3.5 point spread. I don't know if it's moved. I haven't looked at it. But Blake, I see you say it's a pick 'em, and I agree with you. I think this thing is up in the air. It's a must-win game for Auburn. Players have got to make plays. Cam Coleman has to play. Hank Brown, be smart with the football. No turnovers. Man, make it happen, Dustin. That's kind of where my head's at right now with Auburn football. Is I love you in my heart. I will always love you in my heart. But you got my mind. You got my mind racing right now, brother. We got to show up one time.
Yeah, it's like you've been married for 10 years and been a great marriage. You got nothing but faith and trust, and all of a sudden she's coming home late and smelling funny, and you're like, hey, what? I want to trust you, but yeah. lately you just been acting all crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is a must win. And if you lose to Cal, you kind of make it a must win because obviously if you lose to Oklahoma, you can at least say, all right, you're 3-2 and you can find a path that you scratch out 6-7 wins maybe. If you lose this game, then boy, you're fighting for your life next week versus Oklahoma. You're literally fighting for your life. And you mentioned recruits, Caleb Cunningham, big 5-star receiver is going to be there along with Deuce Knight. It would be nice to put on a little bit of a show and show them, that we can have a competent passing attack. I want to see fight from the Auburn Tigers, man. Yep. I want to see fight. I don't want to question, like you've been talking about for the last 2 weeks since the season started. It's time to see the defense want to hit somebody. Act like you want to be playing football. Act like you want to separate the ball from the ball carrier. We've looked slow, unathletic, and my biggest problem is we look uninspired. We've looked uninspired on the defensive side of the ball through 3 weeks, and we can't have it because Arkansas is going to want to pound the rock. And, it's just, it's a toss-up. It's a pick 'em. And I think, that's why I titled the show Tuesday night. Auburn has a big opportunity
Yep.
because if Auburn comes out and finds a way to win this game, and if it's like a tight game and Auburn finds itself in the fourth quarter and makes the plays, and I'm not talking about like like what Missouri did a couple years ago when they fumbled the game to us when they were really running in, because Arkansas was capable of doing something like that. I
Yeah.
listened to the War Report last night, and they had the Locked On Arkansas host, and he was like, I just think Arkansas is going to find a way to lose. And Mike and Ike were like, well, we feel the same way about Auburn. So it's just both programs, both fan bases listen to everybody all week. Everybody we both feel the same way. Like, oh, we can't pull it out. Like they ain't going to be able to pull it out. So somebody's got to win the game. It's an opportunity. If it's a tight ball game in the fourth quarter and this young Auburn group makes the plays, it's a 3rd and 7, and Hank Brown makes the throw to a young Cam Coleman. Sylvester Smith maybe gets a pick or something in the fourth quarter to turn the game upside down. Okay, and Lee hold on to the ball. But like, there's an opportunity for this young team to grow. And I promise y'all, I'm not going to move the goalpost and then come back on the Sunday show and be like, oh, it was just Arkansas. No, this Arkansas is going to come in here. Look, they're 2-1, and we smacked them last year. So they don't want to fall to 2-2, and they want a little bit of redemption for the 45-10 or whatever it was we put on them. I guarantee you their goal, I don't know this at all, I know nothing about that goes on in Fayetteville, but I bet my house that Arkansas has played the clips of walking your trap, take over your trap, and their visiting locker room last year, and they plan on playing that same song in ours. So it's time for Auburn to step up and defend Jordan Hare, damn it. We're going to be there. We're going to be loud. It's going to be sold out. You already know the deal. The Auburn fans are going to do their part. Can Auburn this time repay the favor? I hope so, man. Auburn's the more talented team. I think that top to bottom, Auburn has the better coaching staff. And you're at home, but you gotta make that mean something. Auburn is 3-7 in their last 10 home games versus Power 4 opponents. And I understand that some of those games are 2 in Alabama and 2 in Georgia and 2 in Ole Miss, and all those teams were significantly better than Auburn at the time. But you lost all those games by 1 possession at home. You could have pulled out one of those. You had Georgia and Bama dead to rights, and you didn't pull it out. I believe it's at least going to, I don't think Auburn's going to come out and just jump on Arkansas. And if we do, cool, man. I can get my get over the close game hump later in the season. If Auburn wants to keep blow them out instead of it being close, that's fine. But I just don't see that happening. And so if it's going to be one of those games, man, where I think they're going to make some big plays, and just how does Auburn respond to the adversity? And this is about something that I would talk to you about before we hit record. And I don't know, there's no way to measure this, but I've been to a lot of home games since the Brian Harsa era started. Probably half the home games over the last 3 or 4 years. And it's starting to feel to me, man, like, and you said that you did feel this Saturday in the stadium. When the first bad thing happens, that feeling of here we go again starts to take over the whole stadium.
Yep.
And it's happening to the point, Blake, where I'm starting to wonder if that's reaching down to the players. And when they're at home and things maybe don't go right, they're starting to feel that pressure of, uh-oh. Am I making sense here? Like it's almost added pressure because it's at home, because it's in front of your fans. And they talk, and they know, because they always talk about how much they love the Auburn fans. And I believe them. I believe that when they look out in the rainstorm on a Saturday night versus New Mexico and see a packed house of Auburn fans going crazy, I can imagine as a player, when they say they appreciate that, I believe that to be genuine. I think they know the juice that the Auburn fans bring, and I think that they maybe the fear of disappointing and the pressure of disappointing is starting to kind of make its way onto the field. So there's just a lot of things, dude, that I just want to see Auburn kind of get over that hump. And because I think it's going to be a close game, I think all those things are going to swirl up again. So big opportunity, man, for a young team to come out here, make the plays. We're still better than Arkansas. We're still a more talented, better team than Arkansas. Auburn should win this game. The spread shouldn't be 3.5. It just is because of the way Auburn has played so far in the season. And even though Arkansas hasn't played great and there's a lot of holes, we were expecting it to be even worse. They'd go to Oklahoma State, get blown out, that whole deal. So yeah, Blake, it's we're 4 games in and it's must-win territory, but we got to get this one.
We have to. It's look, if you lose to Arkansas, like we said, you're 2-2, 0-1 in the SEC. You have Oklahoma next week. You're 2-3. Then you go to Georgia. You're 2-4. Then you go to Missouri. You're 2-5. Can you imagine an Auburn team 2-5? An Auburn team that we thought was going to go to a bowl game. I'm not saying that we thought they were, you know, but we thought this team would show progress and we thought they would go to a bowl game and we would see the improvement. I can't see an Auburn team that's 2-5. That's why this game is
Yeah,
everything Saturday. Because if you lose this one, then where do you get? I'm not. I can't say that Vanderbilt's an automatic SEC win. I don't
right.
care that they lost Saturday. If you lose to Arkansas Saturday, you can't pinpoint Vanderbilt and say, "Oh yeah, let's pencil that one in. That's our one SEC win." Wrong. And then if you lose Saturday, you have to look down the barrel of going to Tuscaloosa at the end of the year and getting your doors absolutely blown off. It's a must win Saturday. It could change the season. If you beat Arkansas at home and you have that momentum going into Oklahoma next Saturday, you could right the ship and have a great season. You go
Just
3-1, and then you got Oklahoma. Bang. Go ahead, Dustin. Say what you had to say.
I was just gonna say, like, just as you say that, I'm thinking of the difference between being like, if we pull out a game versus Arkansas, Jordan Hare's on fire next week for Oklahoma. It's like it's
Yes,
night and day, bro. It's night and day. This game is so important.
it is. It's 100%. It's the biggest game of the year. You know, we did an episode talking about what's the biggest games of the year, and Arkansas was way down the list in the summertime. But now that we're in season, we can go back and rearrange that list, and this is the biggest game of the season. It has to be because of what's in front of you. You cannot lose this game and go in depleted to Oklahoma. You can't. There's just no way around it, man. I think if you lose to Arkansas, that's gonna be very, very painful. And where does the team go if you lose? Like, do you start? You know, Hugh made that comment. I'm wondering about the upperclassmen. How
Yeah.
did they handle the loss to Cal? Where does the locker room go? Like, this team, and I just laid it out there for you. Could you see a 2-5 Auburn team? Like, that's so tough that you would basically flip flop with Arkansas. Like, Arkansas would have the season that you thought that you might have, and you have the season that everybody thought they might have. That's where I'm at for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, when we looked before the season and we all talked about how could Auburn get to 8 wins, we had Cal and Arkansas in
Yeah.
that equation, man. So it's massive, but
Yep.
I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here. Like the flip side of that is if Auburn pulls out a win, like I said, Oklahoma's coming into a buzzsaw. And then
Yep.
how does their game go versus Tennessee? Let's say they get beat and they're coming in wounded and say we pull out one and look nice versus Arkansas and it looks good and everyone's feeling good. Then all of a sudden we're looking at this going, hey, if we come out of this thing 4-1, feeling great,
Yep.
feeling great. It's not necessarily we probably would have thought it was going to be the Oklahoma game versus the Cal game, but in that scenario, like I'll take 4-1 coming out of these first 5 home games. And when you talked about, we could be 2-5. Okay, well, let's say we get this win. And then let's just say that we drop a close one to Oklahoma. That puts you at 3-3. Then you go to Georgia and you lose 3-4. Say you lose at Missouri and you're 3-5. But then you can go to Kentucky and get one. You'd be 4-5. Vanderbilt, you'd be 5-5. UL Monroe, you'd be 6-5. Then you're staring at A&M at home, and you could easily get to 7 wins. So, like, even under another bad scenario, and I don't listen, guys, I don't want any of that to happen, but we're just trying to project forward here a little bit. Obviously, want Auburn to win this game, win
Yeah.
Oklahoma, but like, even under that scenario, you're still a way to get to 7 wins. And again, I'm not going to move the goalpost, man. If Auburn comes out of this season 7-5, I think we still sign a top 5 class because I've talked to some people that are on the current commitment list. I've talked to the parents of some recruits. that are committed, and other recruits that like parents of players that Auburn has at least talked to at some point, and they've all told me like, "Hey, Hugh is not coming in here and selling us on a win total."
Yep.
But it can't be 5-7. You see, like it can't be that bad. It can't go backwards, because then they're going to look at it and say, what's the world's going on here? Like what happened to Florida last year while their great class fell apart, and now you see the position that they're in today. But yeah, man, listen, a lot of recruits on campus, dude. This is a big opportunity for Auburn. I want Auburn to find a way. I mean, we need Auburn to find a way to win this game. And then if you get to 3-1, you have Oklahoma coming in there next week. What is going to be a packed house. You'll have a team that's feeling confident, and then it's like that's a whole big opportunity for Auburn right there. But we got to get to that big opportunity first, and then also like conference slate. We want to start this thing off 1-0, man.
100%. Start off 1-0. Start hot. And another thing that I think would be very confident for this team. They probably don't pay too much attention to it, but if you see Cal go win another week, you see Cal fly across the country again and take down. I know they're terrible, but take down Florida State. Then you're sitting here going, hey, is Cal like what are they? Are they gonna get 7-8 wins in that ACC? I mean, I think it would make you feel a little bit better about that loss. It was early in the season. We're growing. We're moving forward. Let's keep getting better and put it behind us. So Arkansas is the one, man. We got to get a dub.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very important game, man. We don't ever want to lose to the Hogs anyway. Let's get to some of these comments before we get to our keys to the game. Got a couple of y'all up here. Daniel says, Arkansas fans are saying they are winning 41-20. I don't know which ones you've seen, but I know these are out there, Daniel. I do know that there are some Arkansas fans that are out there. But even this year, they've actually been pretty toned down. I think they're pretty, for the most part, I think they're pretty hurt, just like we are. But yeah, every fan base has some out there that come out there and say crazy stuff. 41. I don't see either team winning this game 41-20. No. If it does happen, I do think it would be Auburn that would be more likely to do that to Arkansas at being at home. Blake says that's a terrible stat. Dustin, we got to change that. I'm guessing you're talking about the 3-7 versus the Power 4 teams in the last minute. Jordan Hare. Yeah, man, it's really bad. And when you say that, you think to yourself, and New Mexico State's not even Power 4. Like that's in there as well. They're not even included in that stat. And if you expand it out over to like 20 games, it doesn't get any better, man. So yeah, we got to start protecting it. We talk all the time about Jordan Hare and all that, and it's not the fans' fault. We do our part. We show up and show out. At this point, it's on the people that make the plays and call the plays. My boy Ernest is in here. He's always supporting, saying "War Damn Eagle." Everyone driving, but I'm here. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. But hey, don't comment. Don't text and drive. Don't comment and drive. Yeah. But we appreciate you watching the show, man, and always supporting what we got going on. Devin, okay, bro. This picture right here, Devin.
I like it.
I'm vibing with this, my man. Yeah. I like this a whole lot. He says, man, they are talking some mad smack. We better smack them. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. This is still Arkansas. Auburn with the all-time 20-12 lead. They came in here last time and just gave us the business, and then we returned the favor in their building. But yeah, dude, this is we gotta put together a streak on Arkansas. I don't want to hear Arkansas has won in Jordan Hare Stadium back-to-back, like times have come. No, bro. No, that should never happen. Buddy Skinner says, come on, fellas. Need to hear you both pick Auburn to beat Arkansas this weekend, or Damn Eagle. Buddy, I'm not picking Auburn to win the game. And here's the good thing, my friend. It has zero effect on the outcome of the game, and it means absolutely nothing as far as my love for Auburn. You see the hat here. You see the banner. This was my pops back in the day. My pops had this way back in the day, man. Passed it down to me. Repping that. Love you, pops. You see, I got the 2013 SEC title over here, buddy. It's all War Eagle all the time over here. I'm gonna be at the stadium. I'll be at the game, cheering my head off. Voice is gonna go by halftime. I love Auburn to death, dude. My picks don't. You know what I mean? Auburn's got to show me something. I go with the head when it comes to the picks, not the heart. And when I go to make my prediction, I'll tell you why I'm a little shaky on this one. Blake, let's get to the keys to the game, my dude. Keys to the game. What does Auburn have to do to win the game? I'm going to start on defense, and I'm going to read off to you Arkansas's third down conversions rate their first 3 games. Arkansas Pine Bluff, the worst Division II team there is, 9 for 9 on third down. So take that for what it's worth. But then in Oklahoma, at Oklahoma State, they went 11 for 19, and then they were 7 for 12 yesterday. So that's 3 games where they're over 50% every time on third down.
Yep.
Auburn on defense, 2 for 16 on third down versus Alabama A&M. Cal 10 for 19, tail of 2 halves there, and then 4 for 13 versus New Mexico on third down. So Auburn's been okay, but 2 of these have been versus smaller opponents. 10 for 19 on Cal, like you said, 2 halves there. You take it for what it's worth. So Auburn is ranked dead last right now, pass defense in the SEC. Mm-hmm. Got to get off the field on third down, Blake. You got to get off the field on third down. You got to have them in at least 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, facing the crowd. And you got to bring some pressure. You got to bring some heat. I don't think that we're going to see the 3-man front that everybody did not like last week, just based off of Arkansas when the Petrino was going to be heavy tight ends, fullback, all this kind of stuff, pro style. They're going to be 12 personnel a whole lot. So I do expect Auburn to not be in the 3 defensive line set. But, man, for me, it's forcing them in the 3rd and long and then making plays on those 3rd and long. And my God, please, Auburn, hear me. If you make the stop on 3rd and 9, don't push the don't push the quarterback 3 seconds after he's thrown the ball. Please don't. Please don't. If you're a defender on the other side of the play, please keep your hands off the dudes. Like, I don't want to get a hands to the face on the opposite side of the play when we get off the field on 3rd and 7. Let's be smart on 3rd down, get off the field. Let's hold Arkansas to under 40, 35% range in 3rd down and make some plays. Force them in 3rd and long and then make a sack fumble off that thing. Make an interception off that thing. Force them into bad situations and get off the field on 3rd down, Blake. That's my key. And what sets that up is Arkansas has been really good at running the ball so far this season. They ran they ran all over UAB. So stop the run on 1st and 2nd down, force them in the 3rd and long, and then make the plays when you get there.
Yeah, I'll go with defense. I think the defensive front is got to stand up and make some plays this Saturday. Look, we gotta get to Taylon Green. He's not very accurate. You saw in the UAB game, if you got a chance to watch that, I think he completed like around 50% of his pass. It might have been under 50%, but he wasn't very accurate. If you get him out on the move, he's going to look to run. That's why I made the point of Dampier playing Dampier last week. Not the same body type, but their games are very similar, man. Like, they want to get out, make plays in space, run, use their legs, and that gave Auburn and Durkin a little mirror image of what to expect this week. And I was talking last night to those guys over at Hogs on the Hill, and they were saying that Taylon, that's the one thing in his game is he's not accurate down the field, intermediate. It's been a struggle this year, but there's times where he can hit that big shot, he can make that big throw, but it's just really spotty right now. So I think if you bring the heat, man, turn it up on him, show some different looks, and just make life tough for him. Get him off his spot, hit him when you get the opportunity. Put him down in the dirt, a couple times, 1-2 times early, man. Get him down, make him feel you. Like I was talking about the other night, this defense has to make somebody feel them. Make them know that you're there. Get a receiver to have some alligator arms one time. All right? Like, when they're coming across that middle, pop somebody. It's just been a lack of energy on the defensive side. And I know we're young and there's going to be some things that happen and, all of that stuff. But, man, we got to force him into at least a turnover, maybe 2. And I think he will turn the ball over. I think Arkansas will, once again, find a way to lose, as they like to say. They're just, if you go back and watch that Oklahoma State game, y'all, how they lost that game. I'm sitting in Jordan Hare watching on the big screen, and I'm like, no way this is happening. Like, how is this really happening? And why did it happen? sounds very similar to Auburn.
Mm.
Pick six, muff punt, bang. You found a way to lose the ball game. It's mirror images of both programs of what life's been like the past couple years, and it's gonna who makes the least amount of mistakes
Yeah.
is what it's gonna come down to. Is it gonna be baby goat Hank Brown? Is it gonna be Jarquez fumbling the football? Is it gonna be Damari fumbling the football? Is it going to be Rivaldo Fairweather dropping a 3rd and 6? Is it things like that, man? Or is it going to be Arkansas in your house, 90,000 Auburn fans making life difficult, and they're the ones making the mistakes? So that's where I'm at, man. I think we got to make a couple of turnovers. They're going to try to run the football. All right. That
Yeah.
I think is what's his name? Jackson. Jaquindon Jackson, I think
Yeah,
is his name. He's getting like 6 yards a pop, and I know they played Pine Bluff and all that, but still,
right.
he's still getting 6 yards a pop. So they're going to try to run the football, also with their quarterback. We got to find a way to shut that down and make Taylon Green beat you with his arm, because I just don't think he's accurate enough. When I look at the quarterbacks, I think Hank Brown. Yeah, I know it's his first SEC game, but I think he's a better quarterback than Taylon Green. I do. I might eat crow come Sunday morning, but I think Hank is more accurate down the field, intermediate. In the short game, I just think he's a more, I don't want to say experienced, but I think he's just got the higher upside. And Talon's just, he's one of those cats, man, that if you put pressure on him, he's gonna want to immediately take off and run.
Yeah.
And Auburn's got to get home. So that's where I'm at on the defensive side of it.
I think that, or I'm hopeful that the style of quarterback that we faced last weekend has kind of prepared us for this. Taylon Green, 11 for 26, to your point, Blake. I mean, yeah, I don't know if Hank Brown's going to ever go 11 for 26. I should knock on wood or something, but like, that's just not, I just struggle to see that, right? He might make some mistakes and stuff, but he's just, we know that he's accurate. And yeah, but so Taylon Green, 11 for 26, 161, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception versus UAB, but he'd added 17 rushes for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So it's one of them guys where I bet if we go back and watch the tape, this 11 for 19 versus Oklahoma State and 7 for 12 on 3rd down is probably a whole lot of Taylon Green running.
Yep.
Running. So we got to be ready for that. We did a good job versus a good athlete last week. We got to be ready for it again. Yeah. Jaquindon Jackson, 15 carries last week, 147 yards, 9.8 yards a carry, and a touchdown.
Yep.
Understand that was on UAB, but still, man, we just got to be able to, if we can stop them on 1st and 2nd down, keep them in 3rd and long, then that's going to be our opportunity. On offense, my key to the game is going to be extremely simple. Hold on to the football.
Yeah.
That's my key to the game. Blake, hold on to the ball, please.
Hey, my key to the game is let's get that damn run game going. And it kind of leads to your key to the game is we got to hold on to the ball when we do. All right. So let's get that run game going. That offensive line go to work, and don't give up on the run so easily. I felt like we gave up on the run so quick against Cal, man. Just
Yeah.
like we would get, have a 2-yard gain, and it was just, oh well, the run's not there. Don't give up on the run so easily. Yeah, Mike, I like what you said right there. Get Malcolm Simmons the ball, get him in space, jet sweeps, and let's run a damn screen, y'all. All right, please, because they're going to try to put pressure on Hank. I know they're going to try to light him up because he's a redshirt freshman and first SEC start, and they're going to want to put pressure on him. Man, when they start bringing that pressure, break their back with a screen, get it to Cobb or Alston or Jarquez, whoever, and let them get upfield, make a big play. Yeah, that's my key to the game. I don't want to see us air it out and throw the ball 30 times down the field.
Yeah.
I want to see us run the tater. That's Auburn football. We preached it all summer. Run the football. You got 3 workhorses back there. run them. And look, I know Arkansas's got the 9th best rush defense, but once again, a lot of that is Pine Bluff and UAB. Now they did hold Ollie Gordon to like 60 yards, I believe. It might have been less than that.
59 total for the game for
Okay.
Oklahoma State.
Yep. 59 total for the game. So if you establish the run against Arkansas, it's only going to make life easier for Hank.
Yeah.
Make it easy for him. Go pick
Him
up
and
4
third
yards.
short.
Yeah, keep it 3rd and short. That's where I'm at with the offense, Dustin, is make life easy for Hank. Don't put him in 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, man. You want him to be comfortable out there. And how about that video of Hank? Winners win when nobody's looking. Hey, impressive stuff. I know it's just him out there by himself doing stuff and going over calls and making checks at the line and all that. And he's just going through the motions. But that's what winners do, man. That's it starts there. And those guys, when they see stuff like that, they take notice. That's a leader. And for him to be a redshirt freshman and doing things like that and realizing that he got his opportunity. He's a starting quarterback at Auburn University now. When a lot of people said that he probably would never touch the field, he realizes, hey, I got my shot. I took advantage of it, and now I got to put in the work. So I'm riding with Baby Goat, man, and hopefully he goes out here and torches Arkansas. And we wake up Sunday morning and he signs a damn NIL deal with UPS, saying, "What can Brown do for you?"
Let's go. Yeah, I like. I'm a big fan of the Hank Downtown Brown nickname. I like that one. But he's got to connect on some big downtown shots for that one to really stick. Yeah, we talked a lot about how bad it would be if Auburn lost. If Hank Brown comes out and balls, you start having a pretty fun conversation. I mean, he comes out and lights it up and has a great day. Then all of a sudden we're like, man, do we have a guy here? Do we have a guy? And it would make a whole lot of sense for Auburn that all the big time, remember we brought in Jarrett Stidham, we thought we had done it. And that wouldn't necessarily say it's Stidham's fault. The coaches didn't put him in the best position a lot of times. But it's just Bo Nix, 5-star Auburn legacy. He doesn't find success till he leaves here. It would make sense for the guy to finally to kind of like be the guy for Auburn for long term. Would be just an unheralded 3-star that no one expected much from. That would be just kind of fit Auburn for him to be the guy to come in and really be the quarterback for the future. So that'd be a fun conversation, man. He comes out and throws 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, over 250 yards, looks clean. We'll be having a whole lot of fun on the Sunday show.
Dustin, how awesome would it be for Hank Brown to go out there and have a performance like that against Arkansas? And he's going to have his growing pains and things like that. If you go to Georgia and you go to Mizzou, like, I get it. He's going to have some moments where he might not, be the baby goat gunslinger that everybody is, hot on Twitter with. But just think if he goes out and puts up solid performances and you see progress, folks, with all that eligibility left, and he could be your quarterback next year, you could save $1 million from having to go into the transfer portal. Like, that's why I'm rooting for Hank. I want Hank to step up, man, and take control of the offense, and we look forward to 2025 with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get some comments, then we'll make our predictions. Buddy asked, is Morris out for the game? Yeah, I do believe so. He might be out for a little bit, it sounds like. Michael Waltman says, have to cut back on the missed tackle. Yeah, dude. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you got to wrap up and tackle them. Too much arm tackling going on. And that kind of speaks to Blake's point of not being physical, coming up and hitting guys. Come up and put your face mask through somebody's stomach, man. People's Forehead says, Brother Hugh going to drop this whole Malcolm package on Pittman's head. Hope so, man. He's talked about it. We definitely need to see more 11. I wouldn't mind seeing more Perry Thompson as well. Thomas talking about their running back Jackson being 6'2", 230-ish. Yeah, he's going to fall forward, dude. That's a whole lot of man right there. He's going to fall forward. Let's make him fumble some. Let's make him come off the ball. Let's force their quarterback into some bad situations. Let's win the turnover margin by more than 1 in this game, and then I think we'll definitely come out with a dub. Devin's in here. She says, War Eagle fan, had a thing in my son's school, so I'm hopping on a little late. We just appreciate you being here, Devin. Thank you for always riding with us. And Beaver Cleavage says he is now a YouTube channel member. So we appreciate you, big dog, becoming a member. And if you're wondering what some of the content is that we put out for our members, we dropped one today that we made public, Blake. I've been watching Dante Core for the last 3 or 4 weeks and just kind of broke down his film, went through it. So if you haven't watched that, definitely go check that out. That's available to everybody. And that's just one of the things that we do with our members. I know, Blake, you probably got some money to be made this weekend and betting with Blake Pod.
Betting with Blake Pod. Go over there to that varsity squad, $5.99 a month, as you see right there. Recruiting update videos, like Dustin was just talking about. Big shout out to Dante Core retweeting it and saying, Dustin, you are the GOAT, bro. Like, hey, that's big time. Dustin working hard over there in the Panhandle. Proud of you, man. A lot of hard work going on. And game day group chat. Hey, it's like I said, it's everyday life in there. We're just a family. Gameplay with you. Go check out the War Report Gaming channel. Dustin pounding content out over there, doing all kind of stuff with the EA College Football Sports 25, whatever they call it, because I know it ain't NCAA anymore. And watch the film. Basketball season is right around the corner, folks. Auburn basketball looking to make waves this year and have another great season, hopefully another SEC title and a great showing in the NCAA tournament. So we'll break down some film on them. Auburn baseball. How about Auburn baseball, folks? Number 3 recruiting class in the perfect game rankings. Butch getting it done over there. Now we just got to move it to the field and get back to Omaha, Nebraska. So that's the $5.99 a month. JV squad. If you just want to join there, $3.99 a month. Member shout outs, members only live chat. We're going to be doing a lot of those. We're going to go live for like some basketball games, and we're going to make those chats member only and things like that. Baseball games. So if you want to hop in and you're a member, come chat with us, and we'll have a blast, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably gonna put together some shows soon just for the members and things like that. Some live shows so you can guys kind of interact and get to know me and Blake a little bit more. So we stay working on stuff, man. Appreciate the new member that we got tonight. If y'all do, hey, if you're more welcome to give some memberships to our existing members, man, and bring some more people into the family and show them what we got to. And hey, if there's just a topic that Blake wants to hit on, he'll get on there. If something's like trending on Twitter, he'll speak on it and stuff like that. So yeah, and I was thinking about getting on here and just pressing record and ranting about the officials earlier this week because, my God, man, I got to yell at somebody about it. But let's get over here, dude, and make our predictions for the game. Blake, I went 21, Arkansas, Auburn 20. You went the opposite direction and picked Auburn by a point. Y'all guys know where I'm with this, so I don't have to break it down too much. Hope I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. Y'all can all come back and point and laugh at me and say, ha, you're wrong. So it's just Auburn's got to show me, man. Auburn's got to show me. And I understand that Arkansas doesn't finish out games either. But I know Auburn. I live the Auburn life. And it's just right now, to me, I feel like any close game at home, we're just going to fumble it away. And until Auburn shows me something different, then I'll believe different. But I've been saying this all summer. They're going to have to prove me wrong. And I will be happy to be wrong when they do it. But I just don't feel like we're going to win the game, man. I just don't.
Yeah, that 28-27 is pure from my heart. That is a pick from my heart because my head says otherwise, man. But I love the Auburn Tigers. I'm going to pick Auburn to win this game just simply because I bleed orange and blue, and it's a must-win game. And I saw a comment. I can't remember who posted it just a minute ago, but they said something like, I never thought we would see where we're having to put our entire season on a mediocre Arkansas team, but your entire season is here, and it comes down to Saturday. Make a play, man. Like Dustin said, show us that it's different. You preached all summer long that it was different. Show us, because now's the time. I'm tired of getting on here and having to say that it's going to end up being different. Show us. Put the Cal game behind you. We don't give a piss. It's over. It's done. There's nothing we can do about it. Start SEC playoff 1-0 and get the job done. War Damn Eagle.
Yes, sir. Real quick, I did want to touch on this one. It's a good question. Venmo requester asked, honest question, why was Hank a 3-star? You kind of see some of this dude with KJ Lacey. Hank was on a good team. He was on a good team up there in Lipscomb, and they won state championship. I believe they went undefeated, and he's not flashy. So, like a lot of times a quarterback will be a 5-star based off of his his combine ability. You know, like listen, I'll give you a good example. Anthony Richardson, the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson in the top 10. If you ever watched that dude play quarterback at Florida, you knew that was a terrible pick. That was a terrible pick. He can't read defenses. There's a lot of things he can't do. They fell in love with him in shorts. That happens a lot. It happens a whole lot, even in the recruiting game, especially with quarterbacks. A guy can show up and on air in an Elite 11 type atmosphere. He can ball out and look great. And Hank's not that guy. He doesn't have this huge arm. He's never going to wow anybody in those kind of settings. He's a guy that just comes in the game and just throws it to the open guy and gets the job done. So he doesn't pop. He doesn't have any of the athletic ability or any of those kind of things that would pop. And then, like I said, too, I think he was kind of a victim of being on a really good team. And it happens with KJ Lacey right now. There's a lot of people that want to discredit the ability and skill set of KJ Lacey because he's on a good team that wins a lot of games.
Facts.
And so I think some of that, I don't know a whole lot about Hank's team up there, but I know they're a good program that wins a whole lot of games. And a lot of times in those kind of programs, especially a quarterback like Hank that's not flashy, they just look at it and say, oh, well, he just had good teams around him and he had good coaching and Trent Dilfer and all that kind of stuff. Now, he completed over 70% of his passes, which is actually, I would make the argument, is kind of harder to do in high school than it would be to do in college. Just because if you go to high school games every week like me and you do, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like the passing games don't necessarily look crisp in high school. To complete 70% is pretty outrageous. So I think a lot of it, they were people just looking at the talent around him. He's on a good team. He's got Trent Dilfer as a coach. So he's got a good system and he's not flashy. I think it was just a combination of a whole lot of things. But what was telling was, and Buddy, I saw Buddy Skinner, he brought this up too, where he says, this was telling to me was Hugh had a whole bunch of recruits committed to his class at Liberty. Mm-hmm. He only brought one, and he brought one at the most important position on the field.
Yep.
So he thought, so he was at Liberty like, oh, I'm getting a steal right here. Because, hey, he's thinking, Hank Brown at that level, they play with the American at Liberty. He thought he had a guy, and he was thinking at Liberty that Hank Brown was an SEC level quarterback. He brings Hank Brown to Auburn, and who's the first guy that when the Peyton Thorne thing goes wrong, that he's turning the team over to? Redshirt freshman Hank Brown. So he believes in him a whole lot. I think it's pretty telling that that's the one guy that he brought in this whole class was Hank Brown. So listen, guys, again, hope I'm dead wrong on this prediction, man. Let's go out here and get a big dub. War Damn Eagle. I hope that we'll be back here Sunday, and it'll be a party, man. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. What you got, bub?
Thomas, shout him out real quick here.
Got a super chat.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
there
sir.
We go. Thomas, $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Just wanted to shout you out. South Alabama up 7-0 on App State right now.
And driving.
South in your mouth. Go Jags. Mobile, Alabama. Stand up. Let's go.
And driving. Baby. Yes, sir. Hey, War Damn Eagle. Dante Core, if you're watching, appreciate you, big dog. We'll catch you all Sunday. We're out.